Kia ora koutou. I want to show you guys today about the process it takes breaking it down from of making a toki. Okay, hey toki. Got my friend Rob here behind the camera. I'm going to be hopefully taking some awesome shots today and putting together a pretty cool video. But I've chosen some pieces here that we're going to start with. I haven't got an example of a toki to show you at the start. Maybe we'll be able to put an overlay right now of a finished piece or something.
I love the look of this, eh? The brightness, the translucency, the proportions.
So, tell you a little bit about these pieces here that I've got. This is some beautiful blue, bluish sort of Pounamu from down at Southwestland, called hāpopo, which means it's been cooked twice. Nice thickness on these. It's got this interesting colour on the rind as well. There's a bit of a crack coming through here, fracture, which we want to avoid. So we've got that. That's option number one. Option number two, this is beautiful chetoyant pipi wharearoa inanga from the Arahura. There's parts through here. I don't know if you can see them on the camera or not, but they shimmer. It shimmers in the as you reflect light off it. And the pale green is the inanga. Again, it's got a big fracture through the middle, which you need to avoid, but we've got two options on either side, nice and thick, and a beautiful orange rind, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to get that in on a piece. And then this one here is another piece of hāpopo with some different colorings in it. Actually, it sounds quite translucent, and you can see the different colors that comes out in behind the from behind the light. So cool colors there.
I reckon the translucent one.
This one here.
Yeah, I like the idea of light.
This piece here. This is a beautiful piece. There's not many flaws. There's a bit of a flaw up through here, but that's out of our way. All the stuff through here is really solid, so we could make a massive piece out of this. I think something in here like this would be a nice sort of size toki. Take a look at the translucency. And it's going to go. Yeah, so some dark stuff down the bottom here, but turn it over. This bit in here is beautiful. A bit clearer than the bottom. So what I'd probably do is I'd go this way. So that's the bottom with the lashing up the top, so it doesn't cover up all that gorgeous piece there. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
So a black pen is a really good thing.
Line up with the side. That's one less straight edge you have to cut. Those angled down there, so the lashing sits on it nicely. And having a flat top makes it bunch up. So how's that look? Those are good proportions, I think.
I made all these tools myself. The cutting can take a long time with really hard Pounamu. I do it all by eye as well. Usually works out well. That's the sound of it finishing. Having a narrower blade means you lose less of the stone when you cut. If you've got a thick blade, you can grind quite a lot of it away.
So that's our piece there. It's going to become a toki.
Gorgeous. Oh, this part here, this is the scary part. Sometimes you slip, you grind your fingernails off against the grinding wheel. Can take quite a long time as well, especially with a really hard jade to work this. This piece here is hard jade, so we're working on this for quite a while to get this into shape for the toki. The water feed coming in through that blue pipe, because this wheel's spinning so fast, and you turn it right up, the water really sprays out and creates quite a solid mist. So it's a balance between trying to get enough water to wash the stone away and not getting mist covering everything. You can see it covering my hands already. But this is where the real exciting part's at. This is the shaping. This is where you get to reveal what the final shape's going to look like. So checking on like this regularly and seeing how the shape's going is important. Because after this, it's sort of sanding and polishing to reveal the beauty, but at this point this is all the shape, which has such an impact on the final piece of Pounamu. When you get to this point here, you can really see what it's going to look like at the finish. I just love it. This is my favourite part. Constantly inspecting it to line up the proportions.
So this is it after the first shaping. This is one of my traditional sort of shapes, which looks like a toki from the old people with a proper cutting edge. You can see all these scratch marks from the grinding. That's a really rough one to take the material away. You can also see here bits where I haven't quite finished it up yet. That's what this one here we're going to work on next, getting rid of all these scratches, but also putting the final shapes on these edges, taking out a couple of little chips in here, so we'll get rid of those. Yeah, cool thing with when you're working Pounamu is the difference in when it's dry and when it's wet. So this is dry, you can see all the scratches. We just get a bit of water, yeah, go straight back to what it's giving a good indication of what it's going to look like when it's finished, and all the scratches almost disappear. Almost.
So this wheel we're going to use now is a finer grit, a finer grain. So we're taking off all the scratches. So the first it's a cross between the first stage of sanding and the final stage of shaping. It doesn't take off as much, it's not as aggressive as the last one. You can see the difference already. Is a bit drier there between what it looked like with all those scratches on it, and then once you take them off, and it's a really fast and effective way rather than skin straight onto the sandpaper at this point to get closer to finished sanding. But it doesn't leave things, doesn't leave it totally smooth. You can still leave flat spots or ridges. So getting some good sanding after this really sort of meld the curves into each other.
Yep, next stage.
This is my favourite tool. Found it in my stepfather's garage. It's an old pottery wheel. Just put a bit of closed cell foam mat on it. Clip a bit of sandpaper to the top, and it's got a really nice controllable way to sand. I usually use two different grits here, so I do a 220 grit sandpaper and then a 400, and that brings us up to being ready for polish at kind of a pretty low sheen matte level.
Yeah, so it's looking for those scratches or marks from that last sandpaper. I think we're looking pretty good.
Spend a lot of time at this bench. This is where we do a lot of detail carving, and I do all the little holes and stuff for the toki here. But if you're going to carve a koru or something else on it, then let's do that on the hand tool here. Get in the wrong angle and the water spits right up in your face. Not very pleasant. Polishing time. Well, there's a difference between polished and not polished. So I use that Fabulosa product in the back, and that's the buffing, cleaning it all up for the final look. Small pieces can flick out of your hand real quick on this. Yeah, now you can see the shine. Gorgeous.
Put them there for a couple of minutes.
So this is the wax bath. Just kind of seals the Pounamu, makes it ready to sit on a shelf or be in a good condition until it gets to its final owner. Always got to make sure you make the hole big enough. Man, so many holes have been a mission to get through. Lashing is one of the most important parts. A good lashing really sets off a piece and makes it stand out, makes it pop. I always think of it kind of like the frame for a beautiful piece of artwork, that the frame really accentuates and enhances the value and the significance of the art, and the lashing does the same for Pounamu. I was always fascinated before I started carving about how lashings were done.
The reason I do that first, so that I can make sure they're balanced when I tie the next bit.
I was always fascinated before I started carving about how lashings were done, because they don't appear to be logical. It doesn't look like it should hold on. There's always like little tricks or little magic hidden in them about how they work. So unraveling those secrets was an awesome part of my journey into carving, and I still love doing it these days, and my mind's always trying to work out new and better and different ways to do lashings. This little pull through cord here is one of the key secrets, to hiding the ends. And making them strong and robust as well is so important. Always on the search of how to do that better. Trusty toothpick. So much you can do without that. Love it. Look at that. Oh, dramatic shot into the light. Juxtaposition. Oh, this is Rob's fantastic setup for the final shot, so we can see, what it looks like with the light behind it. He said it took him an hour to set up that shot. The right lighting and the backdrop. It blows me away how much effort goes into that sort of stuff.